What is going on, everyone? We are back. We are back. We are back. Bel-Air, season 4, episode 3, titled "What Are You Doing for Thanksgiving?" Of course, we're talking spoilers. Lamont, I gotta say, man, I really do like the title of this episode, and the theme is Thanksgiving. We're recording this Monday, 11/24, and Thanksgiving is 3 days away. You made a comment right before I hit record on this, sir. Why don't you let us know what that comment was and how you felt about this episode?
This episode hit me pretty hard, just because of the dynamics that was going on. I also feel like this was one of the best episodes of the entire series because I'm a new father and I didn't have my father in my life. He stood me up the one time we had a chance to meet. I'm a fan of Marlon Wayans. I think people underestimate or undervalue how good he is as an actor and the way they portrayed everything in this show, even with the callback to the original show when Will met his dad and his dad abandoned him. I just thought it all flowed well. And to me, B. Avery, of all like the black shows that we've got out there, from The Shy to The Powers to all the Tyler Perry stuff, I think this particular show lands everything, blends everything the best out of all of them.
Wow, that is I'm shocked. I didn't think that. I don't know. I mean, I didn't think you would feel that way. That is quite interesting. I'm glad we're talking about this. And you're making me look at this with a different lens, because I'm not a father myself, not yet. And I feel kind of bad trying to say this right now, but I actually liked this episode the least out
Mm,
of the first three that we saw. Now I didn't think it was bad. It just wasn't as interesting. The reason
mm,
for me is I was not the biggest fan of the flashback of Phil and Jeffrey meeting at the bar, the dirty glasses. I forgot exactly what drink they were having, some type of whiskey. You can correct me if I'm wrong, either here in the comment section. Not that
bourbon.
it burp, there you go. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. I just was not as interested. Again, I'm not saying that it was bad. I just think I liked the first two episodes a little bit more. Now I will give you this. Marlon Wayans can act. He really can. And it is very true. He is undervalued as far as his performances is concerned. I recently did see the movie Him that came out a month or two ago. I loved his performance in the film. I didn't like the movie. And if you had a chance to see it, you, Lamont, or anybody in the chat, he does have some talent. There's also the Requiem for a Dream movie that he had a number of years ago. I did not see that, but I've heard nothing but positive things about it. And every time it comes up, they do talk about Marlon Wayans and how great of a job that he did. And so I've also heard that movie is a bit heavy, so I don't know if I'll be able to handle it myself. But y'all let me know. Um, but it was still a great episode overall. Um, there were no dealings at school or administration or anything like that. This one really did focus on the family. But with them focusing on the family, Lamont, Hillary was still nowhere to be found. She is locked over in Costa Rica and can't make it home. Now, that could be a valid plot point that they wanted to include, but to me, it seems like they're writing her out of the show. We may never see her again unless it's the season finale. I mean, this is the last season anyway, so they're not continuing. But what do you think about that, man? What's going on with Hillary and her being in Costa Rica and not being a part of the last two episodes?
Off screen, I've heard that a lot of her music career conflicted with a lot of the scheduling for the show, is what I've heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but this is what I do know. I do know her music career has been blowing up. You turn on any radio station, you can hear like 5 songs that she's got out on her LP, and there could be some truth in that. I
That makes sense.
the way this season is written, B. Avery, we don't really need her because her life was the husband, and she was also kind of tied to Jazz, who we haven't seen either. So don't be surprised if the finale or the episode before the finale, them two come back married.
Really? Well, I mean, we have seen Jazz. I mean, he was in the first 2 episodes, right? I know he was at
He
least in
was
one.
the
He was
last
in
time we saw him, he was getting cussed out by Hillary, which is the last time we saw her.
right. So yeah, Jazz wasn't in. Yeah, Jazz was not in episode 2. So that's interesting. I mean, I know that she is a recording artist. Of course, we've all heard some of her songs, at least of a snippet of it. But if that's the case, if that's what's more lucrative and for her, and she knows that this is the last season anyway, why not put more energy into what is going to continue on in the future? She will be missed. I want to see her as much as possible. Because I think she's a great actress, and I like the whole family dynamic. But I don't know. I'm pretty sure you're correct though with your assessment. That makes perfect sense. But you guys let us know what you think in the comment section below. Have you ever fried a turkey before?
No, but I've
No.
been around people that fry them. I'm from the country. There ain't nothing to stick a turkey outside and fry it. I've just never done it myself personally.
Okay.
It tastes better. It tastes better fried.
Yeah, I may have to try that one day because Uncle Phil really did drop the ball, by not hitting the oven. That's just really interesting. They talked about how Hillary was the one that's usually, the best cook. I mean, she did have her show, her culinary career in the first season. But again, she's in Costa Rica. But going back to Marlon Wayans, man, I like the fact that he was um prominent in this episode, but man, he is petty as hell. You would think that, and we're gonna go back to the beginning, guys. How episode 3 ended, and how episode 4, no, how episode 2 ended, and how episode 3 started. But he's petty, man. Are you team Philip Banks in this episode or team Lou?
I hate to do this to you. I hate to do it. I'm team both. I'm
Okay,
team both.
okay. Why is that?
Let me put it to you this way. I'm team both, but I skew toward Phil.
Okay, cool. I can deal with it. I can deal with it. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know what the hell was wrong with him. Him coming in the house, just talking about, hey, we can fry the turkey. I'm glad I came. I'm already clearing up Philip's mess. So he the one that started with the jabs. And I'm like, that was completely unnecessary. It was uncalled for. It was rude. I don't understand how you feel that this person, you can insult this man, not only in his own damn house, but in front of his family. That is the ultimate no-no, man. Like, he'll have some patience to me, you
He
know,
did.
because that was just completely out of pocket. I don't know what was he thinking, Lamont?
He was thinking that he knows the history of him and Phil. He knows that he's got a chip on his shoulder because he hasn't been around his boy all these years, and whatever he done wrong to Will's mom, he's got a chip on his shoulder. And oftentimes when people come into a situation where they've got a chip on their shoulder, it becomes an insecurity, and to masquerade that insecurity, they feel like they need to insult the people in the group that they're seeing first.
Yeah,
And he felt like he needed to land the first blow before things started coming his way. But that is all the way to mask insecurity. And I think we've all been around somebody in a family gathering who's a loudmouth. And before you can say something to them, they run in their mouth about, oh, you think you look good in them clothes, something like that, or whatever they'll do,
you get
because
the
it's an insecurity for them. And
yeah.
that's what happened with Lou here. And I like the way that Uncle Phil showed adult level patience.
Yeah. That crazy right there, crazy. I also I like the makeup. I mean, I talked about that before episode 1. I was like, man, everybody's edge up was on point. Everybody's hair and stuff was on point. And it continues on in this episode. Of course, the banks, they have the money, the resources to do that, go around the corner, that to always look fly. But I'm not saying that Lou just looked awful, but when you looked at his beard and mustache, it just wasn't as trimmed as everybody else. That may not be a big deal to y'all or you, but it's just something that stood out to me. I like the consistency with his character, and of how he's being portrayed. Again, may not be a big deal, but it's just something that really stood out to me. You have any comments there? Or
Yeah, I think Lou likes it like that. I mean, he's a barber. He can do his own trim up if he wanted to. So I think that that's just the way he wanted it to be. That's his style, so to speak. Because he
okay.
is a barber. That's what he do for a living.
Why he need to trim it up though? Because it was looking a little raggedy compared to everybody else. But
A
nah,
lot of cats, a lot of cats around here run around with like they beards kind of similar to that. Like it looks a little uneven, a little raggedy, stuff like that. A lot of cats do, especially with bald heads, they do it like that. But you know, he could have done it if he wanted to. I think that's just his way of trying to have swag.
I feel you. I really can't talk. Sometimes I'll come up here looking decent. Sometimes it be a hot mess. I'm actually trying to get my eardrop grown in a little bit right now. And actually, I'm stepping out of the review a little bit too much. I'm trying to get it back. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, like that right there. That was about a year ago. Only reason I have that ready is because it popped up on my Facebook feed today. Like a year ago, and then now, how you look. And I was like, yeah, kind of fly back then with the enhancements and stuff like that. Some people don't like the enhancements, but anyway, let me know. You pro enhancements or you like the natural edge up line? Let me know in the comment section. I will be honest though, something that I did not like um in the very beginning of this episode, and we talked about it. I think you said this in episode 2. Hey, Carlton and Will were arrested at the end of episode 2. And in the first 5 or 10 minutes of this episode, they're in court, and it's over with. They get some community service, have to do some program, little slap on the wrist, and then they just kind of skated past that plot point right there. I wanted them to be hot in the kitchen a little bit longer, and Phil didn't even have to do nothing. He was just there. I was like, all right, stand for your sentencing, and that was it. I was kind of looking forward to some going back and forth in the courtroom, little proceedings here or there. Were you happy with the way they resolved that, or are you more on my side?
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because of the way they presented Lou and the things Lou said. Lou said something that was just so candid. And I want everybody that's listening to us to put yourself in that position. What is it like, or what does it feel like to know that the fate of your life for the next 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years is in the hand of somebody else who's not your same color, who most of the time does not have your back, does not care about what you go through as a minority in this country because they can't see it through your lens. To know that that person in the palm of his hand can gavel your life away is a scary thought. And for me, that was all that was needed because that's what was happening. And we later learned that that judge is one of the more tougher judges on teenagers. We learned that later on. So that was enough for me when Lou made that statement. He summarized it good for me.
I got you. Going back to the judge, I did get a tickle out of that because after Carlton said what he had to say, and Will, yeah, I'm trying to combine basketball and business, and Carlton said he's trying to go to Princeton. He hopes. So, all right, stand up. He was like, "This was dumb." For the Hall of Fame of dumb, he's like, for the Hall of Fame of dumb decisions, y'all will make the highlight reel. Oh no, I found that kind of funny. But yeah, I do like the conversation that Lou had with Will, his son, at the end of it. Because he didn't come down on him. He was there in support. He didn't, reprimand him or, boy, what the hell is wrong with you? Because he has no say. You wasn't there. And even with him living in LA, Will didn't find that out until later on in season 2 or 3. And so I like that he did show up to support, but Phil is more of the daddy in my opinion, and he was just trying to be supportive and let him know that he loved him. But like I know I don't really deserve the right to come down on you. Like I've been raising you my whole entire life, so that's cool too. Is I'm pretty sure that's something that you appreciated as well.
Yeah, I kind of look at it like as a parent, yeah, my kids love me, but there are other adults in their orbit that they kind of look at the way Will looks at Lou in that moment in the story. And basically, you can see children gravitate towards someone who treats him more like a friend than a parent.
Mhm.
And my daughter used to always try to say, "My daddy's my best friend." No, the hell I ain't.
Yeah.
I'm your dad.
Yeah.
I love you. I'm not your best friend. I am not going to let you get away with everything. It is my responsibility to make sure you have the best foot forward in life. And friends ain't going to do that. They're not going to tell you what you need to hear all the time. And so you see kids can gravitate to that person who seems more like a friend, even if they might be an adult figure. And I think that's what was going on with Will when he was kind of kicking Uncle Phil to the curb in the initial parts of Lou getting to the house.
Right on, right on, right on. Is Unveil wrong for not showing up to the court, to the proceeding? Because they lied and said that she wasn't feeling well, but she was like she just didn't want to face the music of her son and nephew potentially getting thrown in jail.
I think that comes down to kind of preference, especially with her being pregnant. And if her going there could cause enough stress that it can mess with the pregnancy, considering that she's already dealing with the stress of having to be beholden to a crime syndicate, I give her a pass on it. In this instance, now if it was just a situation where life is hunky dory, she's not pregnant, they're not under the thumb of a crime syndicate, there's not a lot of pressure being dropped on her that could harm another human life, then yeah, I think she should be there. But for this instance, I think it's okay that she wasn't there, and she did call Lou to be there too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She did. She did. Well, no. I think Lou said that. Well, I think that Lou said that Viv or Vi is the
She
one that called.
did via Viv.
Okay, okay,
Vi called Lou because Viv called Vi.
gotcha, gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense. Lamont, you have a daughter.
Yep.
She is sweet as an angel right now. But when she grows up and hits them teenage years, man, she may turn into Ashley, where she just popping off at the mouth, being rude. Oh my God, that was weeks ago. What you tripping on? I'm like, wait a minute, little girl. I was mad at Unveil for just walking off like, oh, I'm over this. I'm gonna go take a nap and a Tylenol. Where's my ice pack? Man, what's going on with Ashley, bro? She at that age, man. She thinks she grown, and I was getting heat. I was like, look, girl, quit popping that gum. No, that's Tyler Perry. Yeah, what's up with Ashley, man? She going off the rails here a little bit,
Bruh, it starts at 4 years old. I be
man.
having to check my daughter all the time. I'm like, don't you talk to your mama like that.
Mm,
Don't you slam no doors. Don't you talk to your mama like that. And don't you dare call her by her first name. I be having to check that little chick, man, and threaten to take things away. But you have to balance that with patience because you're trying to help this human being who's very inexperienced in life formulate their emotions and regulate their emotions and themselves and their control in the best way. And you would rather them maybe run their mouth a little bit versus them going doing something more destructive. But you
mm,
still got to put guardrails around that. You're not going to be running around here cussing somebody out. You're not going to be yelling and slamming doors. But if you want to go in your room, you want to scream, as long as you're not directing it at somebody, that's a better way for you to let off some steam than talking to your mama any kind of way you want to. And Ashley's just at that age, my brother. She's at that rebellious age. She's in high school. She thinks she knows everything. Hormones is bothering her. And, I like the way Carlton kind of reeled her back in and let her know that, look, you're going to be the oldest Banks kid in this house. You're going to have some bigger responsibilities. Get your stuff together.
yeah, yeah, man. I was just about to bring it up. Carlton was my next topic, and so you hit the nail on the head. Carlton is showing some. Well, besides him going to, besides him beating up G wagons, he's showing some maturity and growth as being the calming. I can't think of my phrases or whatever. The whatever that calms a storm.
The
I'm
calm before the storm.
there you go. I don't even know if that relates or makes sense, but he is the peacemaker. He's in this episode, talking to Ashley, talking to his mom, and all of that. I really do like the way he checked her as well, and that speech that you just talked about, like you're gonna be it. We finna be gone, and so Mama's gonna need your help. That really did tame Ashley there. So shout out to Carlton because the brother is really doing his thing. Now, going back to Lou and Uncle Phil and Lou, when they was outside talking on the patio of the porch, of course, Lou has a right to be concerned about the safety of Will, but was his tone in the right place?
No,
No, even with him
no,
being, excuse me, even with him being kidnapped.
no. Tone wasn't in the right place. I mean, his tone was a little bit too much over the top. I understand you're concerned about your kid getting kidnapped. I understand that. But, bruh, there is a 13-year gap where your concerns meant nothing because you couldn't do nothing.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
be coming in here trying to nuck if you buck now. I mean, he doesn't live with you. If he was living with you, if he was spending the weekend over here, that's different. I done raised this boy for all the years you wasn't here. Incidents happened. He came here because of another incident. And since that incident, he's been squeaky clean. So don't be coming in here raising your voice at me and talking to me any kind of ways. He can get on that truck and go to you with Philly. Do you want to take him with you?
Yeah, yeah. I got you. I got you. Yeah, man. And after that, Will and Lou, they're in the house looking at the trophies and all of that, having a father son Kodak moment. And Will, as he's trying to tell him to read books, I just this was just randomly right here on my desk. I just want to hold up a book. Y'all can read that if you want to, by Dr. Joy DeGroy. Um, he's like, hey, write this book down. Will calls him daddy. Hey, daddy. And Lou was like, oh my God, dad. Oh my gosh, I haven't heard that in ever. I don't I don't know how to react. I like that, man. And he had to mess it up by acting that up at the table and saying that he's going back to Philly. How you feel about that?
I thought that the going back to Philly was overblown. I
Really?
mean, yeah, I mean, like, bruh, the dude's gotta live. He's got to live. And like he said, there's not many jobs for someone who's an ex-con that are paying enough with the technology we have nowadays.
Hmm.
Him going to Philly doesn't mean it's the end of y'all relationship. And
Yeah,
let's just say he was an NBA player. You're not going to see his ass night to night for 6 months, 8 months anyway. If they go to the playoffs, 9 months. He's going to
yeah,
be gone all the time.
yeah,
So, bruh, I didn't understand why this was such a big thing. I get why they did it because it was very similar. This was basically a callback, an Easter egg to the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when Lou came through. Will was just shunning Uncle Phil because he was having fun with his daddy. And then eventually Lou tried to leave town because he was a truck driver. And he wanted Phil and Aunt Vi to tell Will that he was leaving. And Will overheard them the same way he overheard in this episode Lou saying that he got to do something somewhere else, blah, blah, blah. And so to me, this was overblown. This was
okay.
way overblown because it's too much technology in today's age to just be like, you know what, I got a better job. I can help your mom. I can, send you some Air Jordan money. I'll be able to catch planes to come see you. You can come see me. It's all good. I thought it was overblown.
Right on. Y'all let us know in the chat if y'all think it was overblown or not. Very, very curious. What I thought was overblown was Phil getting jealous of how Lou and Will did when they was playing Taboo or the card game. Red, Kool-Aid, Soul Train, and I forgot all the other terms and stuff like that. But they knocked that out the park right there. I don't know, man. Why was Uncle Phil butt hurt? You know, like that's silly. You know.
Because Uncle Phil got a dog in him. Uncle Phil understand what it's like to be poor. Uncle Phil understand what it's like to have grown up in the black culture. Because for them, it seems like when it was Uncle Phil and Carlton, it seems like they are more kind of embraced into, I don't want to say upper class, but they're not kind of embraced into the culture of what middle class black people and maybe poor black people are dealing with versus what billionaires are dealing with.
Mhm.
Will and Lou could rap just like that, like it was nothing. But Phil's got that in him too. But the thing is, he didn't give it to Carlton, which is
Yeah.
another callback to what Lou said. you can teach people where you came from, because Lou comes from poverty. And he didn't really do that with Carlton. And that's why they had another dick swinging contest at the table over that too. And that's where Uncle Phil was having his insecurity, that he hasn't really done that with Carlton. Shout out to Ollie Schulten, by the way. I forgot to tell y'all, I produced the film with him called Taking of the Courtroom 1, 2, 3. He was one of my main characters. So be on the lookout for that at all the film festivals. Shout out to that brother.
All right. Yeah. Shout out to Ali Charlatan, Nigerian young man. But Lamont, I got a bone to pick with you, man.
Uh-oh.
Have you told me about this short film before?
No,
No?
I haven't.
You probably have your reasons. I won't, I'll leave it
No,
alone.
no, it's man. The reasons I have is just been stress, which is
Okay.
going to be another thing we're going to talk about that they mentioned in this episode. Like it
Talk
just
about it now. Talk about it now.
so in this episode, you didn't like those flashbacks that Uncle Phil and Jeffrey was doing, and I didn't care for them either, because the only thing I can see why they would put that in here is because they setting it up for one of those two to die.
Oh, no.
Yeah, man. They set it up for one of those two to die. But that very last scene when they was in the bar, where Jeffrey was saying how Phil saved his life because everything was going wrong with him. The reason why I relate to this particular episode so much is because I've been there. And I also relate to the relationship father-son dynamic and what I want for my child, how I detest not being in my child's life, which is what Lou had done. And I was at a moment in my life where I felt like, why am I here?
Hmm.
And if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for my therapist, if it wasn't for a couple of other people, I'm not going to say I would have done it, but I would have been closer to saying letting that be a decision. So this episode hit me pretty hard on several levels. And that's why I said that. And I just been so stressed with a lot of things going on. I tend to forget that I have done these things in Hollywood, because part of the stress is the money I spent trying to build my career in Hollywood.
I feel you, man. I kind of want to give you a hug. Sorry
So it's
about that.
all good, bro. It's
Give
all
you a
good. I'm
virtual
still
high
here.
five. Yeah, a
Still
little
here.
high five right there. Is there anything that Lou did to you in this episode that would have warranted him getting kicked out of the house? Nice commentary. I have one thing, but I'm gonna ask you first before I say mine.
I could pick a bunch of things where I'm like, bro, you leaving. Like from the time they out there drinking the beers, that was one where, bro, you get on your high horse, call the Uber, something, get the hell up out of here.
Yeah,
That back and oh, I'm sorry.
no, go. You go ahead. I cut you off. My fault. Go ahead.
The back and forth at the table could have been another one, but the reason why that wasn't for Uncle Phil is because there was a lot of truth in what he said about you're hiding the past from your kids, and the kids can learn from that. You think that stroking a check gets rid of what happens in the past, and Uncle Phil is a little insecure about that because he does feel like he dropped the ball a little bit with Carlton. That could have been another moment you kick him out, but that was also him putting the mirror in Uncle Phil's face.
Hmm. I'm trying to remember exactly what was said. I remember Lou saying, "Well, you think you're a better father because by writing a check." But what did Phil say to him exactly right before that? Like, you think you're
Phil
like I
says some people don't have to learn from the past, or some people don't have to, some people don't need to learn from the past to do better, something to that. I'm paraphrasing here, with something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, there was low blows all around. I wish I can play it right now too. Okay, I ain't gonna stall us or whatever. But what I was talking about, yeah, him. I did not like him encouraging Carlton. Like, yeah, I like the fact that you had wheels back and beat up the G wagon. Like, okay, even if you're going to say that, which you shouldn't, why would you say that in front of the parents? That's dumb. And then when it was like, okay, this is inappropriate and we shouldn't be having this conversation, he doubled down. He was like, "Yeah, go boy, go!" Like on this, like, and he didn't even care that they saw it. I'm just like, okay, you are really crossing the line right here, man. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? I was getting really, really frustrated with that. You agree?
I definitely agree, but I'll say to this, that was another way the writers was just trying to show the dynamic for rich black people versus middle class poor black people and the struggles that both black people have to go through. So where in any instance you shouldn't be beating up people's property, right? You shouldn't do it. But if
Right.
you poor and somebody crosses you, you have nothing to lose. So you are willing to do something that someone rich wouldn't do because they got something to lose. I
Right.
get what Lou is trying to say. And I'm the opposite of what you're saying. You said he shouldn't have said it in front of the parents. I'm glad he said it in front of the parents because the parents know exactly where he's coming from. I wouldn't want Lou to be somewhere around the corner with Carlton saying, "Yeah, boy, you should have hit him a little harder." Say it in front of the parents so the parents can have the opportunity to check his ass, which they didn't. Well, Viv did later on, but not at the table. She didn't.
I feel you, and I was just about to talk about that next, man. I like the way how I love the way that Viv went off on him. But man, that's just really telling his response. Like that's that well, her name wasn't Banks. What do we know her name before she was married? Um
Smith girls, I think you said
yeah,
that's the,
it's something like Smith Girl Fire or something like that.
yeah.
Viv rolled her eyes and walked away. I'm like, dude, can you please take some accountability? You are 50 plus years old, man, and you acting like a freaking 21-year-old, probably younger than that. Like, bruh, come on. But shout out to Viv for checking it, man. Yeah, I mean, go ahead. You just spoke on it, but if you have anything to add, I would love to hear it.
I'll just say shout out to the actress playing Aunt Viv, Cassandra Freeman. You know, you still one of my Ace Boom Coon, your sweet self. I was repping you so hard first season. Then I had to get up off of you. Well, I'm back to celebrate you, my sister. You're doing a great job. You really embodied this role, and I'm glad that they picked you to do it.
You also let us know what you think, guys. You also said that one of the reasons that they are doing the flashback scenes of Phil and Jeffrey meeting is because they're setting one of them up to die.
Yeah.
Is it possible, Lamont, that they're setting Carlton up to die? Because he's had a huge arc this season already, and now we're in episode 3, dropping all these jewels at such a young age. Because he is going to Uncle Phil like, "Hey, Dad," he had his button-up cardigan on with the tube socks, with the loafers, with the shorts. "Hey, that's some people's style. It's not me." I would have. I don't even really like the sleeveless sweaters, but I would have preferred that with that outfit. But anyway, I digress. He's like, "You know what, Dad? When Will first came here, I was jealous because y'all just bonded and melded together, just had this relationship. And I felt that I was competing to be the other son. But I learned that, we're better together." And then he walked off with his hands in his pocket, like, "Yeah, I just dropped mic drop." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is funny. But shout out to Carlton again, man. He's schooling everybody. He checking Ashley in a polite way, his mama, his daddy. Last episode, he's like, "I don't know how it feels to be snatched out of a car, but I do know how it feels to be spiraling out of control." I mean, this guy is Mr. Wonderful over here, man. Are they making us fall in love with his character so he can meet, his demise at the end, or am I reaching too much?
That's not a reach. That's definitely not a reach. But I wouldn't say that they did the flashbacks to G and Uncle Phil as that being part of something happening to Carlton because that was specific to them.
Okay.
Possibly even Hillary, because Hillary was in those scenes. I think that's specific to them.
What do you
I
mean,
also
Hillary
do
or
think,
Ashley?
excuse me, no, Hillary. It was Hillary. It was
Okay.
Hillary. It was
Okay.
Hillary in those scenes. Hillary's the oldest of all the kids, so it was Hillary in those scenes. And I think that they would probably somebody within those scenes, and I'm definitely thinking Jeffrey is going to get off, but I can't see them putting Carlton through some trauma because he is doing a great redemption arc. You're absolutely right. He's checking the right people. The only fly in his ointment is his boo thing that has come back, and we know he's in love with her. Keisha Cole's in love with him, and it's a matter of time before they get back together, and that's when tragedy might happen.
Yeah, when you say Keisha Cole, are you making a joke about Amara? The
Yeah,
Okay,
Amira.
okay. She does like Keisha Cole. Will can play the piano. Do you know how to play the piano?
No.
No. I learned how to play by memory, but I don't know how to read music or anything like that. What is that? What is the song? Beethoven's Fifth Sonata or something like that. I still know how to play it. Doom, 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 doom. Okay, I'm gonna
Oh,
stop.
wow.
Yeah, yeah. I learned in it was either my ninth grade or 11th, not 11th grade, but it was in high school. But
Because
I did like
personally, man, the movie almost made me want to learn how to play the piano because they had a scene in there where they was on a thing to get the portal to come up, and it almost made me want to go get on the piano.
right on. If you're a piano player, if you're a pianist, let me know in the comment section. I remember the first time as a child I heard the word pianist. It tickled the hell out of me. Penis. Anyway, anyway, we talked about Ashley while not being disrespectful, but she got the bonnet. She went in with her mom, and they were bonding and all that. Mom, if you're gonna make it weird, I can leave. That was cute, man. I like it, but eh, Mom, I just don't know who I am. High school is hard. I don't fit in with anybody. I don't fit in with the queer people. I don't fit in with the blacks. I wish she didn't say that. Eli is the only person that gets me, and I don't even know myself. What am I going to do? And I liked it. How did you feel about their bonnet reunion in the bed, mother and daughter?
It happens. I mean, my daughter and her mom, they have these bonnet, I call them bonnet to bonnet talks. They hate it when I say
Really? Okay, okay.
oh, they do not like it. That like I call it the bonnet to bonnet talks. Because my daughter stay getting her hair done. Of course, Crystal get her hair done, and they be in the bed looking at each other, bonnet on, looking crazy as hell. And I walk in the room, and y'all have one of those bonnet to bonnet, and they both be ready to throw a pillow at me. But I like it, man. That's a great bonding for the ladies and the girls. And my daughter right now is in the Spanish immersion program. She's talking about school is boring. I don't want to go to school. So I was like, Crystal, have a bonnet to bonnet with her before I need to go Phil Jackson to the Chicago Bulls 98 on this girl. School,
Man,
get ready, dip on in. I enjoyed it. And I think that that was a good way to show how a mature parent who's going through a lot, she's pregnant, she's got this crime syndicate, you've got Lou in the house, your boys just got escaped prison by the skin of their teeth. She showed a whole lot of moxie to have that bonnet to bonnet with Ashley, and I think that that was a good way to end the story. Almost.
yeah, yeah. Do you have any more commentary on the flashbacks? I mean, we brought it up, but we didn't talk about it too much. I mean, I didn't really care for it. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was the least that has been just the least interesting to me. But do you have any commentary there?
I gave my commentary. They done that for the specific reason to make us feel very, very indebted to someone in that flashback that is going to kick the bucket.
Now let us know. Is that in the tab? Well, not well. I think if they're not going to kill Uncle Phil. If they do kill somebody, it's going to be Jeffrey. I don't want that to happen at all. But we're going to see. We're going to see. But towards the end of the episode, man, Jeffrey doesn't think he's not welcome anymore. Phil has a plate for him. Hey, man, I got you. Even though I'm mad at you, you have done a lot. And Jeffrey goes and or he's about to put his plate in the oven or the microwave or the toaster oven or something. Um,
The air
very
fryer.
yeah, very nice, endearing moment. By the way, guys, if you don't have an air fryer, get on it. I think my brother got me one either a year or two ago for Christmas. Best invention in the world. I love it. I love it. It ended though, Lamont. Will not Will, but Philip and Vivian are in bed. Like, babe, I got a plan. You're just gonna have to trust me. That is such a turn on that he can be involved in such BS of money laundering when they are multi-millionaires, if not billionaires. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna trust you, baby. I know that may feel good. How you feel about that scene at the end where he was like, trust me, I got this.
It's cliche because
Ah,
you always hear men saying that, but I can just tell you in today's society, that just trust me, that's not going nowhere with women nowadays, unless it's one of these women. Um, golly, I've been trying to clean my act up and not have as many jokes. Unless it's one of these women who's not completely involved in a career, maybe she's just a homemaker and the dad do all the outside the house work, that would fly with them, but it's not flying with a career woman. No, it's just no way. She's gonna want to know what is the plan, and I need to know it quickly. And you heard Viv say, "What's the plan?"
You're right. Okay. I definitely agree with the first part of what you said. That is very true. Actually, maybe the whole thing is. Yeah, I'll give you that. Okay, okay. I want to hear from the ladies. If you was in, put it in the comment section, but you got to subscribe first. If you was in Aunt Viv's shoes, pretty much the same situation that Viv was in. Yeah, exact same shoes. That's what it is. And your husband came to you and was like, "Hey, baby, we got to line up this money. I got a plan." Are you gonna be like, "Okay"? You be like, "No, we need to write this out. Let's get the Sharpie, the board, all the arrows and highlights. Let us know how you would take that information." But
Yeah,
that's the episode, Lamont. What are your final thoughts if you haven't given them already?
the women going to comment, "I need to see that business plan before his ass get in bed." That's what they gonna say. I need the whole business plan before you even think you're going to get in this bed, is what the women's are going to say. But for me, one of the best episodes in the whole series. It hit me in 5 different directions. Very interested to hear what you all got to say about it. Let me know. Happy Thanksgiving.
Right on, y'all. Happy Thanksgiving. It is going down. I'm going to be tearing up all types of plates. I'm excited, man. I've never done this before for Thanksgiving. But I'm gonna try to make 4 stops this coming Thursday.
Wow.
And it's gonna be a doozy. And I'm starting off with a turkey trot. Gotta be there at 7 a.m. Yeah.
I got to be mine at 8 a.m.
I got to get my steps in. And then going to yeah, I'm just gonna be bouncing around. And so, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we do appreciate you tuning in. That is our Bel-Air season 4, episode 3 recap titled "What Are You Doing for Thanksgiving?" We will be here same time, same place for episode 4 or 5 until the end of the season. If you're watching this on my channel, please subscribe to Lamont's channel. And if you're watching this on Lamont's channel, please subscribe to my channel. We both would really appreciate it. Links are in the description box below. And I also forgot, yeah, there's our first 2 episodes right there. We're also covering It Welcome to Derry. I have an initial reaction for Wake Up Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery, Last Samurai Standing on Netflix, Wicked for Good, Selena y los Dinos on Netflix documentary. What we got? What else we got? Another video with me and Lamont. I got my B and Eddie Netflix documentary review. Let's just go ahead and bite off Mr. Chris Jones. Go ahead and subscribe and watch 30 of them bitches. I was trying to not say that, but I actually came out. I'm so sorry, Mom, if you're watching this video. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, don't forget, I'm B. Avery. That's Lamont. That was so corny. And that's just our opinion. Peace out. And we'll see you next time.